Restoration is brought to you by
Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Yes, extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix.
Hello everyone, wherever you're watching us from across the world, we say welcome to Restoration with Stacy. This is where we get to hear all the stories that give us that extra edge to keep pushing, because there is always light at the end of the tunnel. We're brought to you by kind courtesy Hisense, everyday prizes for everyday people, Yas washing powder and Yas sanitary pad, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Hoochcon, and Choco Flakes to Wazi Apartments, located at mile 7 in Achimota. You're always welcome there with your family. A very big thank you going out to Aseda Fabric for this beautiful fabric I'm wearing today. It's like Misha Kinte Accra, Basenye Kinte Accra. A very big thank you to them, and also to Hair Duties, located in Osu near Photo Club. Haja, thank you very much for my hair today. A very big thank you going out to the Sousa Catering Services for always ensuring my team and I are super refreshed. To multimedia Productions, you guys are amazing. And of course, GH Beauty Artistry, thank you for always ensuring my guest and I look good. We'll be right back after this break.
A banner Hisense fridge, any freezer range now. A demonstronko. No cranny say Hisense fridge, any freezer dear. Eya papa. A trainam kania. Na bonus so dear. A dafon boko. Fridge and a freezer no. Size ben na ope. Model ben na ope. Ye wo nini nebi wo homa ho. Ye wo water dispenser dear. Ice maker. And your double draw. Ye wo inverter technology wom. Eno kire se de anyinam kanea no bekosoro aba fom bia ense wo fridge ne da. Hisense fridge fufura di aba ne de edu twam. E wo screen mu a eboa ma ye niam bebre wo wujade. Enya afi na abetwetwe niam bi atata fridge na. Emra wo de ade agu fridge mu a na ice ya chi no na wo yi a enyi no. Etwam. Hisense the frost free fridge aba. Ayakayo say Hisense nkwani 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Tasty Tom tomato mix. Ofa kakra. Na ye bebre. Fa kakra yan kwani stew dodoa ope.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. Steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup, and it doesn't color your meat or chicken.
Tasty Tom tomato mix inti. Me handwriting and sada. Into customers bar never.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month? Yas extra long sanitary pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort. I got yes, confidence. I got yes.
The new Yas extra long sanitary pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi, is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got yes, confidence. I got
Yes.
we got yes, protection. I got
Yas extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
we got yes, protection.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family, because every smile matters. New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
Wait, your tomato mix. Wouldn't so one on pass. Still loud, what tomato flavor, no color changing like traffic lights. Come on.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. The steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup.
Taste not so dear. On point. Flavor near.
And it doesn't color your meat or chicken. I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Yes, welcome back. And today I am a bit hyper because my guest, fireworks. My guest, no name, So before I introduce you to our guest for today, a very big thank you to ABS Lux Line Ophelia. Thank you very much for this outfit. And then there's Mama said Nayaka Bell Kakra, as a Tina Turner Kakra, as a Diana Ross Kakra. I love it. Thank you very much, Ophelia of ABS Lux Line, for always ensuring that I look great every week. My guest today is a young man who started off in this industry gradually. And I mean gradually. He was not in a rush. He took his time to learn, and he learned well. And today, you cannot have a great party without this man. If you have a party and he's not your MC, your party be bomb. And he's a broadcast journalist, and he's one of the few guys that I absolutely love because he's always smiling. My guest today is KMJ. Now, Brandon, what found
when you call, it's a big deal. So
Koja make a cry.
I needed to call
I
about
said,
six
designers
together.
In Pacho, there be marking. And Pabwe, when I can promise, more a association Diana.
Yeah.
KMG, Shahil. But it's absolutely wonderful to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me over. I mean, this is when I leave this place, I'm not doing any interviews again in my life.
Oh, don't be like that.
No, I hardly do interviews, actually. I don't remember granting any interview of the sort. The last time I did was once with one of our channel shows, and that was just it.
And this is still Joy Prime, so
absolutely,
it's still family.
Yeah. But I mean, yours is the end point. I mean, from here, where do I go? Which show? Which show? You know, which show?
Can you call Oprah? We need a tea time.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
But I mean, it's good to be here.
It's
good
to have you.
Yeah.
I've really been waiting for this interview because I've watched your growth.
Yeah.
I remember you from the short hair.
I know.
To the punk kakra. Then she has some pesa kakra. My help. But it's been a beautiful growth.
I think I'm grateful to God, first of all, you know, and my parents, my late parents, may their soul rest in peace. Where I'm coming from, It would take only the grace of God to be where I am right now.
If not for grace.
Yeah. When I say people don't get it, but I have a story that anytime that I talk about it, it makes me feel like there's something you have done that has never been your might. There's a process you've been through in life that it's only God can get you through that process. And so when I remember my journey from where it all began in Koforidua to where I am right now, sometimes I even doubt it.
Let's begin the journey. Take me to Koforidua. Which part of Koforidua?
Oh boy. I lived in about 6 different places in Koforidua because I didn't have a permanent house.
You're joking?
Yeah, so I was transferred like the way they transfer footballers. So when I live here for like 3 months or less, then my boss will come and say, the owner of the place says he wants the house, so you have to move. And then I go and patch. And I'll patch with somebody else for a while. And then I'll be there and they say, oh, the sister of whoever that is giving you the place is coming and they need the place, and I'll move. And then I'll go to, so I've lived in Adriso. I've been in 2 streams. I've been in Fujase. I've lived in Wales again. Tafo. I've been all those places.
Wow.
Yeah, because I didn't have a permanent place. And
so you're a Koforidua boy?
Not necessarily.
Abrabone
Demiko. So my journey of becoming a radio broadcaster was even funny. I was in Accra, doing the normal things, working with DJ Willie, jumping from one place to be noticed. In fact, at the time I did the Monte Carlos, the Aphrodisiac, and all. I was just jumping in all these places.
Being like a hype man.
Yeah, and following DJs, wanting to be a presenter, wanting to be known. So DJ Willie would pick me up. One of my sisters took me to him. I'll carry his CD bag like that. We'll be jumping from one club to the another. When he finished with Top Radio, then I was producing his drive time show at the time. So I was like his small boy.
Okay.
So he would just take me around after we are done. We'll come back around 5 a.m. to the house, 4 a.m. And the CD bag was like a spiritual being for me. I held on to it like my life depended on it, because if it gets missing, that's a CD bag like, a size like this. And he was known at the time and all of that. So you being with him and all that, you needed to protect what makes him who he is. Yeah. So I woke up one day, and I was, at the time, Facebook has come new. And so I woke up one day, and then I've been updating some of the things that we're doing at the time. When I go here, I put it there, oh, I've been here, we did this, we saw this. And so I was more like writing my experience on Facebook at the time. And so I wake up one day, and I see a message in my inbox that, hey, I love what you're doing. I follow you, and I think I like you. I have a radio station, I want you to be on it. And I said, I'm not living Accra to anywhere. So this man succeeded in calling a meeting that I met him at Accra Mall. We met, he spoke about his intentions, and he has a radio station that operates like Joy FM in Koforidua, and he's looking for young guys who have talent to be part of the dream. It was very new and everything. They were on test transmission and all. So I said, no, I can't go to Koforidua. I don't even know that, and I want to be here in Accra. So he left after the meeting, called me back again a few days after and said that, you know what, I still want you to come think about it. So I spoke to my auntie I was staying with at the time in Dansuman, and he said, you know what, give it a shot. You never can tell. This is what you love to do. So I decided that I want to go. And then that was my first time going to Koforidua. In fact, I got lost when I got to Koforidua. I called me and said, where are you? I said, I don't know where I am. Come and get me from here. So he came.
And when you I said, what do you see?
And I said, my station now, start mentioning things, so he picked me up. And that's how the journey began. But the thing is, I thought I was going to have a good life because I was promised a good life. I was told in the near future or a couple of months, I'll have a car, I'll have a house, and all of that I was promised.
That's an absolute dream.
Yes. So I started, we're there 1 year, the car hasn't come. 2 years, I don't know what salary is. I don't know what paycheck is. So, after 1 year, I knew I was in this for the worst. It's either I make something good out of it or nothing happens with me. So he put me on the drive time, and I started drive time, started getting some love in Koforidua. And Koforidua is predominantly Chi.
Yeah.
So doing an English station, you will suffer in terms of adverts and all of that. So we're making nothing. The good thing is he had an association with VOA and DW.
Okay.
So that's where we're getting a bit of funds from. But you can't get paid with that. There's light bills, there's NCA bills and all of that.
Cost.
So the money that I receive is 50 cedis for allowance.
Which year was this?
I'm talking about 2011, 2012, 2013.
Still not 50 shot.
No, it was nothing. If I had got to a point, my mom wanted to disown me. because of that. Yeah, it got to that point. My mom called me and said,
50 cedis.
exactly, and I've wasted my time on you. I'm disappointed in you. My mom called me names. I didn't blame her. I mean, this is somebody who has taken me to school. You understand? Only she. And come and look after me, you know. Say, oh, Bob, you're not getting paid. Nothing. So it remained like that. I mean, I would walk for like 1 hour and go and host a drive time show. But dodgy, lungu sound.
Because
First street, Kofodia Street. Yeah. But I mean, I was doing extremely well. This is me that I'll finish. My boss will pick me up and take me to the ministries, and they say they want to see me. And he drives me there, and the big men see me. My voice and my size is not the same. So they will argue with him that it's not him. They say, this is the guy.
You're not Onkasani.
You know, then I'll talk, and then they now know because my voice is deeper. And so they thought that it wasn't, they were just kidding. You know? So then I felt that, okay, this thing can get somewhere. But you need to suffer for it.
Yeah.
There's a price to pay. Are you ready to do it or you go? So after 2 years, I needed to make a decision that, you know what, it's either I'm coming out of this place successful or I don't make anything out of it. So then I started reading. I started talking to people. I started, every single moment of my life was like, I am not doing anything here in Accra. I'm out of Accra and I'm doing something. So when I go, every show that I do was more like my last show. That show should take me somewhere else. Yeah. I remember meeting some pastors and some friends who would tell me straight in the face that you work at Joy FM. And God bless him, Pastor Dave. He was one of the pastors in Koforidua who met me and told me straightforward that I won't spend more than 3 years here in Koforidua. And where I'm going is Joy FM.
Wow.
Yeah. He told me straight that he said, you work at multimedia. And we still talk. He still tells me that it's not even done yet. You know, I have gone through a lot. I'll sweat and go and sit empty
behind
stomach.
The console.
And I'll be doing a drive time show from 3 to 7 and I've not eaten.
Hey.
And this is not a joke. There was a time I collapsed when I was behind the seat and I had not eaten and I was shy. I'm the type I can't even ask for help. So I was on behind the console. I was just doing my thing and I felt that I was getting weaker and weaker because I had not eaten the previous day. It was water, and I've come to do a drive time show from 3 to 7. So around 4:30 thereabout, I started getting
the body
weaker.
started failing.
I know that, no, this one, yeah, it not go work. So I was talking and I started going down. And the microphone was on and you could hear that there's silence from the talking. There was nobody talking again, but the microphone was on and the music was down. So my operations manager walked straight in and he goes like, what's up? By the time he came, I was down.
Oh, no.
So he's asked me what's wrong. I said, I've not eaten. And he said, are you serious? I said, yes. So I was just lying there. And then the other manager also came. So there's this beans seller at the front of the office. They went to buy me. God
bless God.
They tease me with this every time. In fact, he's written on Facebook several times. That he still remember that. He comes to remind me every time that I remember you for this. Do not forget where you're coming from. The last time that God made me somehow, better, I went back to give back to that God bestseller.
Wow,
when she saw me driving in the car and getting down, she almost passed out. She was like, are you the same person? I said, yes. I said, I came to give you money for what you did for me. You know, I have been through the worst in Koforidua, but I'm grateful that it got me where I am right now. My journey is, I always tell myself that you're a miracle. From Koforidua to Accra to getting on Joy, a multimedia platform, it's just a miracle.
How did multimedia happen?
Multimedia was also another story. And I tear up. In fact, the last time I met this man, the two of us cried. And I'm talking about Socrates Safo. So my former boss in Koforidua died. Oh. Yeah, he passed on. I was in Cape Coast when I was called that he died. It was also another experience. In fact, I felt him in my hotel room. Then he was at the hospital. And he had asked me to go to Cape Coast to help Kwame Daz because I was then the acting programs manager. I actually rose to the acting programs manager of the station. Okay. So I was supposed to go and see Kwame Daz's wedding in Cape Coast and stand on his behalf, as a manager.
So he sent you?
Yes, then he was sick in Accra. So on the Saturday after the wedding, on the evening of the wedding, after we were done with the wedding and everything, I went to my hotel room and that was it for me. I couldn't sleep till the next day, until 5 p.m. when I heard that he was dead. My room was very heavy.
But even
I saw things flying.
Though the room was heavy, you never thought something had happened?
No.
You were wondering,
exactly. So I left the hotel room and went to sit at the reception mosquitoes and everything. So the guy who was in charge came and like, your room is there. You won't. I said, I can't sleep in the room. I want to be here. So I was there for a while. And then when I went in, the first thing I said is, if there's something going on, whoever you are, tell me. This thing I'm telling you, it was just happening like a movie. So around 5:30, I started getting calls. The first person that called was the operations manager. I was like, your dad is gone. In fact, that was how close I was with him. We got to that point. He loved me so much. He could do anything. He could put his life on the line for me. Wow. Yeah, it got to that point. And he said, your dad is dead. I'm like, okay, now I understand what was happening. So Sammy Flex drove me back to Accra. He was also there at the time. I was crying throughout when we were coming in. He was like, you know what, God bless Sammy Flex for me. He was like, you know what, go and pack your things from Koforidua. Come to Accra, I believe in you. I'll put you on Plus FM as a pundit. You move from there and become somebody.
Sammy did that for you.
Sammy did. I will never forget it. I was crying throughout our journey.
Because now hope, Nasa.
I'm crying better than you want in me. Even though I was doing interviews from there, from Koforidua, I spoke to almost every person that mattered in the film industry because this is where I was before I went to Koforidua. So as much as I was Koforidua born, which I'm so proud of even till today, even though I wasn't born there or anything, I had no association or anything, it was just a job that took me there. I'm so proud of Koforidua because it gave me an opening and made me who I am today. And I can't forget that, you know. So we go back to Accra, I went there, packed my things, and the journey in Accra began. So Sammy put me as pundit on the show. I was doing it a while. And then there was a day, he has this thing he calls Flex on Plus on Sundays. He was not around, so he said I should step in for him. So the producer, Massive, called me and told me what we were going to do. And I said, okay, fine. And that was my first radio show as a host in Accra. So Chris Safo was supposed to have been a pundit on the show that day, but he was ill, so he didn't show up. He was in the house listening. I didn't even know Socrates. I'd never even met him before, but I know him. Everybody knew Socrates, but I'd never met him one-on-one before. So we're doing the show, and then at a point, Massive said we should go for a commercial break. Then the next thing, Socrates walks in, and Massive is like, you are sick, you're not supposed to be here, why are you here? He said, I came because of this guy. And Massive was like, how? He said, let him finish the show. He's the reason why I'm here. And then he stepped out. So after the show, he called me and said, who are you? Where are you from? Are you an Accra boy? Have you done radio for years? I said, this is my first time. I'm an Accra boy who relocated to Koforidua. And I'm back. And I'm back. But this is my first show in Accra. He said, you've never done any show in Accra before? I said, no, this is my first show. I said, this is like you've done a show here for years. Yes. Your voice, your courage, whatever it is you're doing here, you need a radio station. Have you tried any? I said, well, at that time, that's another story too. Sammy had actually introduced me to the manager of Plus FM to help me get a job. Yeah. So they put me on an evening show, like this lovers thing, and speak nice and put people to sleep and all of that. You know, exactly. And I did that. I did it so well. After the show, somebody called me. I was like, everybody's talking about you. Facebook is buzzing. Kwame Dazi calls me. This one calls me. In fact, I was trending and everywhere. But unfortunately, the manager was not ready to employ me. He was not even ready to give me a chance. And I didn't blame him. He has his own, reasons why he decided so. So when I told So when I told Socrates said, no, he can't tell you, he can't give you a job. In fact, that very day, when we finished, we go and eat in Sammy's house, all of us, and then we all have fun and all that. Socrates went there and confronted the owner of the manager of the station. That why are you not giving this guy a job? He's good. Can't you listen to him? And he gave him the same reasons. So when Socrates came, he said, well, you know what? He's not ready to give you a job, but I'll give you a job. Sit in my car, I'll take you to your house, and I'll make sure you get a job. Socrates drove me all the way to his. I don't know what was happening. I didn't know who sent him. But like I said, I've lived a miracle life. So when it was happening, as much as I was surprised, I kept saying, God, did you send this one too? Yeah. Just the same way you did with the Koforidua man. Because even though he was not paying me a dime, he put me somewhere. So is this same person that has come back again to my life, or what is happening? And using Socrates to bless me. Because it was weird. Socrates never knew me anywhere. How he was so much into me and wanted to help me. There are many people in Accra here who need that opportunity, not me. I just came. He's not helped them yet. Maybe he has, but there are people who deserved it more than I did. But he was on my case. 3 days after, he called me and said, you know what, wherever you are, go and see Michael Krekumante. I've spoken to him. Go and see him right now. So I went there. Mark saw me, and the first thing he said, like, who are you that Socrates is talking about? You could hold your boy, I can once, my can. Oh, yeah, why then I bet me? I'm saying, boss, me, 5 minutes, cram a bush, I say, and then he laughed. So he told me to go and then come back. He's also going to put me as pundit on the Hit FM morning show.
Okay, with Andy Dusty.
No, at the time it was Black Eye.
It was Black Eye, okay.
Correct. So I started off from that place as well as a pundit. 2 weeks, 3 weeks after, they said, Black Eye is going on leave. Mark calls me and says that Black Eye is going on leave.
So beat me.
And I sat in for 2 weeks. When I finished, I had the HR call me and they said, you know what? The station wants to appreciate you for the 2 weeks that you have done. Sister, the mommy 2K check, 2,000 cedis check. Me won't be that.
Won't be that. I know your appreciation.
Okay. Then finish me. Me GNA straight because me could check it. I'm call my mommy or. I said, what's it scan only be on? Way hey oh dear. Menyebi. So 2,000 cedis was like everything for me, and so I appreciated it. And then whatever God does, after a few weeks, I was somewhere chilling at Africa. Maybe let me boss be crying. You chat time. Then I see Michael Kiko calling me. I pick up and it's around 5 p.m. I pick up and he said, where are you? I said, oh, I deal with my boss, but they chill for somewhere. I said, come to the office right now. I said, boss, right now, I don't know if it come or unless after 7. Because right now, my shit, me chill kakra. No, so we are bra. So when I finished, I got back to the office. When everybody's talking, hey, oh, they are two, hey, Black Eye, hey. So Mark met me at the reception and was like, yo, Andy, Black Eye has stopped. And now it's your time to shine. You say you can do it. I'm giving you the platform.
Why now, Kai said appreciation 2,000. He said, "Oko full time there."
I made my job.
Me, what am I doing?
That I said, oh, anyway, they made it you know. But then again, Black Eye was a strong guy.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people felt that I was going to fail because sitting in for Black Eye and now taking over. Because Mark told me point blank, this time you're not going to do a sitting. You are hosting the show as your own.
You need to hold it as your own.
Exactly. That's a big responsibility. And even me, at a point, I was shaking. And I told Black Eye that, you know what, I can never do what you have done, but I'll go and help myself. That's what I told him. I want to help myself. So I'll just go and do exactly that.
I'll do me.
And Black Eye is a human being, man. He said, bro, you know what? At a point, somebody has to go for another person to also feed their family. It's a platform. Go use it, feed your family. Me, I'm going. And I'm doing this for you.
Wow.
Yeah. The only thing I felt that I could do for myself was be a positive person, exactly. No matter where I find myself.
Push the agenda.
Yes. So if it's something negative, I don't like controversies. I don't think that is the only way to be popular. I don't think it's the only way to be relevant. You know, for me, it's making impact.
Yeah.
What are the substance? What are we looking at? Can we just be very original and very positive about it? The unnecessary dragging of people into whatever it is, I wasn't interested. So I stuck to my guns and I did what I wanted to do. Till today, by the grace of God, I've never had to do anything and go back on radio and say, I apologize for this, or that. Even on TV, after all these years, I've never had to apologize for anything. And for me, it's about standards. What I feel is what we're supposed to do is what we have to do because of standard. Because throughout the period, I've always looked at myself doing something greater than Ghana. And it's the reason today I'm on a DW platform that I'm hosting a show for DW that is doing extremely well across the continent and the world. You know, so for me, it was just the positivity. And I'm glad that we made some very good impacts, you know, in the 2 years that I was on. It was time for me to move on as God orchestrated, and I moved on. And today, I'm here on TV doing extremely well.
I think with your time on Hits, you were off a while.
Yeah.
Nobody heard anything.
Yeah.
And because everybody keeps expecting so much from you, there were all sort of speculations.
That's true.
Of what was happening, what wasn't happening. So when we come back from the break, I would want us to get into that and really get to know what happened during that break. So we'll be right back after this break.
Yena samenamwa high sense product bakwa amanfo di wadanse pa sound system e bomusronko bass ya bass treble so a treble Ya shada ye ne say, onam Bluetooth so, I connect ma wo dem niema nyina. Na watie wo sound papa bi. Connect your phone, am a high sense sound system. Ne tie wonyo. Enfie bebre ni and a high sense e dia botre ada eniema bi ti say, rice cooker, air fryer, ceramic hobby. And you may come with halogen oven, blenders, hand blenders, and a kettle. A hand mixer, food processor, pressure cooker, contact grill, vacuum sealers, iron, vacuum cleaner, and an ice maker. And you man on ne buo, and a said the entry in Namkania, internet growth when it jihosano. Say home appliances and Kwana opedia. To high sense, now fear but dawase. High sense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Tasty Tom tomato mix. Ofa kakra. Na ye bebre. Fa kakra yan kwan stew dodoa ope.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. Steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup, and it doesn't color your meat or chicken.
Tasty Tom tomato mix into. Me handwriting and sada. Send ne den bia sa net into customers bar never.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month? Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort, I got. Yes, confidence, I got. Yes.
The new Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. Is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got. Yes, confidence, I got.
Yes.
We got yes protection. I got.
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Pepsodent is aware that globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. That's why by giving her Pepsodent, you're not only protecting her teeth, but also helping her grow up and thrive at every stage of her life with a healthy and confident smile, so she can succeed and achieve all of her dreams. Because every smile matters.
It's a high sense super crazy giveaway moment, and my final student of Radio 1 Hair Studio. Sweetheart, what's your name?
Esther.
Esther. Hey, maybe just me pay with confidence. This is Esther. Esther episode here na we share nana e kan wa kuma na ye wo fe pa.
Mpacho te makunkum.
Hey, Auntie Cynthia. Wow. Then I would say one story no when share won crying.
Mpacho de me te one story no when share me crying na waresem. Obeware ya na danfo ebitwe ne ji ni kunu efi ni nsem ni kunu ja ne mba ema no so onketa for them, but still oguso ebo ne homode kita for nkora no with a single mother ain't easy, but still with the determination so be hwe nkra no mo madu baby papa nti oda ho hwe nkra no ono na me di tu me ho for say in case say be kwa wimpo na se be ma no eja me ho no oja nkra ne bo me so a me nka say ni nti me so me ja nkra no mo maye me o manye but say me as a single mother me tu me ho si wo na me hwe nkra no mo nyine be ye mpanyi pa wo society ni ona
Esther Bonsema ho. Hey, Roger there. What motivational speakers for sweetheart. Into high sense and for we emroni and that was. Then I'll catch your high sense.
High sense me da masepa ne makoma pani de bia ma che bia mo de che nkofo. Mo nyo my papa but we still we give away. They make and say high sense everyday prizes for everyday people. Thank you.
And nature say everyday prizes for everyday people. Until say oh I could talk home appliance. It's true. High sense. 5 years warranty. Oh the tosso I wouldn't know that na AC ne de your friend no. Oh please. Oh chile. What's so AC na? Just why because say be a winter. It's not a high sense air conditioners and a mouth that feeling. Well, this is the end of this week's High Sense Super Crazy giveaway moment. Next week will come your way with another winner. Welcome back, and that is our winner for this week's High Sense Super Crazy giveaway moment. So, like I was saying before the break, that silence, that disappearance, what was really happening in that time?
So I was sick. In fact, I was very sick. It got to a point I felt I was not going to make it. And so there were times...
You just got sick like that?
Yeah, so I'll explain how it happened. But I'm talking about the fears that it came with. And so there are times that I'll call my siblings around me because I couldn't do anything. So my kid sister and then my brother, my twin brother, were the ones who were taking care of me.
Oh, you're a twin?
Yeah, I have a handsome twin brother.
Are you Kakra or Penny?
I'm Penny, he's Kakra.
Oh, Nancy Penny now, my
very
money so
yeah, he's quiet.
But before the Kakra,
it was the other way
troublesome ones.
Yeah, but when you're a quiet spot, Penny wants, you know, and he's just, you know, living his life. So basically, I took ill. I was supposed to have gone to South Africa for the South Africa Film Festival. It was supposed to be on Monday. And so on Friday, over the weekend, on Sunday, one of our friends, you know, Gizo, was having his baby naming ceremony. So we're there to support and all of that. And that's where everything started. So for some reasons, I felt a very sharp pain at my back, my lower upper shoulder. And all of a sudden, I started sweating, you know, profusely. So I didn't know what was going on.
Now where did you?
I'd eaten, you know, we're
also we're notorious for not eating.
Oh, you know that? Yeah, I had food, you know, and I'm simple. I'm eating the but of course, I mean, I want to keep my shape, so it's cool. So at a point, I realized that there was something wrong, you know, because it kept getting bad.
The rate at which you were sweating.
Exactly, and I was wet pants, you know, my very good friend. So I told him that, you know, Koba, I'm feeling some way, so we need to leave here. So then I didn't drive because he picked me up. He was coming from Cape Coast and it was on my route. So he picked me up, so then I don't have to drive. So when we are done, he would just drop me off in the house and then he goes home. So I told him that, Charlie, I can't do it.
God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah. I mean, imagine how I was going to drive back home. So he said, okay, let's go. So I held, it was even one of our guys, Kwekwa Baby, who made me feel that it's really bad. When he sees me, he gets agitated, and so he shakes me anyhow and all that. And he didn't know. So when he came, I was just sitting there very uncomfortable, and for him, it was the usual thing. So he held and that was when, and the pain that it came with, that's when I felt like, no, this thing could be bad. So I told him, Pounds, let's go. So he took me into the car, and then we drove, and then he dropped me out in the house, hoping that I would get better. So we go home around 6:30, 7 thereabout. Between 9 p.m. and the next day was a nightmare. I was in pain, I couldn't sleep, I was crying, and I was alone at the time. So I started making calls, and I called one of my friends who's traditional medicine. He practices traditional medicine. So Nane Dubois, God bless him. He was the first point of call because I felt I didn't understand what was going on with me. Exactly. So when I called him, he got to my house around close to 12 midnight, you know, because it was coming that far. So he came with one of his guys, and then they gave me some medication. They put some stone around me, massaged a bit for me and all of that. But he said that it could be that bad. So whatever it is, the next day he will come in and ascertain what exactly it is. And that's how my journey of being sick began. I was down for like a month. It started in October, from the 1st of October to the last day of October. 2017. That's how this happened to me. So then we had to start looking for solutions. So I called a friend of mine who came, brought a car, and then took me to the hospital. When we went, we did about 3 different tests at the hospital, Snit Hospital, Dansuman. We did about 3 of them, and then they said we should go and come back for the results. When we went back, they couldn't still find what was wrong with me. So the doctor asked me to go to the other hospital again and do another test over there. So we went there, and everybody around me at the time, my friend, my siblings, were attested to this. So we went, we did another test again, and then we came back, brought it to the doctor. He looked at it and he said, you know what, I need to show you something. Maybe we're not getting something right. So they have this screen over there. He projected my bone, X-ray and everything that we are taking, tests and everything on the screen. And he said, you know what, this is how your body looks like. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing wrong here. So why all these pain is coming, I am still doubting what exactly is wrong. Are you
even in pain as you
Exactly. Came? But this is me when I get to the hospital. All the nurses will say, what's up, baby? Hey, what's up, baby? So, in fact, my kid's sister was the one who was bathing me. So they'll drag me into the bathtub and then put me in there, finish bathing me, and then they'll drag me back. They actually literally carry me into the car and then bring me out. But I'm the kind of person, I don't put these things out there. Even when I was going through, I couldn't even access my phone anywhere. And I told my siblings to all keep quiet and not speak to anybody. I want to deal with this my own way. So the last time that we now needed to take another step was when the doctor finished and was like, can I ask you something? I'm still trying to remember his name. God bless him. It was like, can I tell you something? I said, what is that? He said, well, from where I stand, I'm not seeing anything medically wrong with you. Do you believe in God? I said, yes. I said, okay, if you believe in God, maybe you want to take another step and see how best you can sort this thing out. Because I've given you all the medicine I'm supposed to give you. You go, I'm hoping 1 week you'll be fine, you come back with pains again. I don't know what to do. So at that moment, I was crying. Because you see, I came into a system where I know it was very toxic. I came into a system where I knew what Esther, but I was very naive because of where I was coming from. Because in Koforidia, I don't know who want to come and poison me or do anything or whatever it is. I didn't know all of that. In fact, when I was in my recovery stage, I had a call from someone in our office space who called me and said, you came here with too much of clean heart. And I said, I don't understand that. And he said, well, when you leave this situation behind you and you are okay, the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, and when you are down, I said, okay, fine. And I left it there. In fact, I was not ready to go into all of these, but I never believed anybody would, or whatever it is will happen to me because I'm not after anybody or whatever it is. So after the doctor said that, then my friend said, do you know any pastor we can call? And at the time I was going to Empowerment Worship Center. I knew a pastor there who was a very good friend of mine. So I called him, Pastor Alex, God bless him. So I called him and said, Pastor Alex, I'm dying. He said, we're going to say that, why are you dying? He said, I need to see you right now. So he said, where are you? I said, I'm at the hospital, but I need to leave here. And he said, okay, I'm doing prayers somewhere at Abelempe area there. And so can you move? I said, okay, I'm with a team, they can move me around so we can come. He said, okay, let me send you the location. So they sent the location to my friend and then my kid sister, and then we went there. So when he came and they were sat in the car, he said, there's too much going on in the prayer camp there right now. I don't want you to go there. Everybody will start looking at you. Those who know you will start pointing at fingers and all that. So let's sit in the car. What is wrong with you? I said, Pastor Alex, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, I can't sleep. Half of my body's gone. I sleep this way and I'll cry out till the next day. And I'm tired. I've gone to the hospital, we're not seeing anything and I can't stand it anymore. So I don't know. I feel I'm dying. In fact, I've told my siblings that when I go, they should do this and all of that. My twin brother knows this. My kid sister knows that as well. So he said, okay, no, you're not going anywhere. Let's pray. And then we start. In fact, we did prayers in the car for almost about 1 hour, 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, in the car with my friend. And then when we finished, the first thing, I was crying. And in my crying, the first thing I said was, I want to go back to my work. I want to make people happy. And I said, you're not going back to that work. And I said, why? He said, you're not going back. The only reason you're going through this is not for you to die, but God wants to show you something. I said, really? He said, yes. He's on one of the radio stations right now as a pastor. He does the morning thing. Okay. From that day, it was prayer. So I'll bath, do everything, and then they take me to prayers. I'll bath, I'll do everything, and then they take me to prayers. So I was just jumping from one prayer to the other, one prayer to the other. And then my recovery was funny. You know, when you're sick medically and you're recovering, it doesn't take for you to get well.
At once.
It's a process.
Yeah.
I woke up one day and the pain and everything was gone.
Vanished.
And so I believe in miracles, but because I'm not someone who experiences miracle almost every day, my miracle is not body miracle or body part miracle. My miracle is like, oh, I'm supposed to pass here, I didn't pass there, something happened. God took me out of that.
Yeah.
But it's not like your leg, then it's gone. I've not experienced that before. So when I woke up and that was happening, the first thing I did was to start making calls. So I called the pastor, and I'm like, what's going on? And then Pastor Alex was like, be thankful to God, praise him. That's what you wanted. And he's delivered you. So what's your problem? Says, this thing I'm telling you, at that time when you see how lean I have become, I was devastated, I was depressed, because when I was sick and I was getting better, social media was also dealing with me. People were saying things. My job was on the line. My family, everything. I wake up on my phone, many missed calls about KMJ has been sacked, KMJ has been this, KMJ has been taken off the show, KMJ, stories upon stories. This one says this, and it does this, Prince Cheka this person this, my pundits this. It got to a point I felt the whole world was against me. And I'm like, So all these people were there and had all these intentions, ill intentions about me, and I didn't know. And these were the same people I was meddling with, same people I was showing love to, same people. Like, what did I do wrong? You know? But for me, I sat back and I thought it was God's will for that to happen. Because really, if it never did, I'm not too sure what I would have gotten myself into by now. So with all that was happening, I was quiet about it. I didn't want to talk about it. In fact, there was a time that I was right after what was happening. There were many series of interviews that were granted, people trying to defend themselves, people trying to go play innocence and all of that. And I'll wake up every day and I'll have radio presenters and TV presenters calling me, Kim J, which side of the story? And I was like, which side of the story? I am way too mature than that. I was the one who was going through everything. If I want to talk about it, I'll go talk about it to my parents, my family. Not the world. I don't owe the world anything. You know, there was a time I was at the airport, I was flying, and I was just about getting on board, and messages, we want to put you on a very big radio station in Ghana. We want to put you on this side, we want to talk about it. I'm like, I'm not interested. I want to live my life. You know? So for me, if anything should happen, and people want to make decisions for themselves, based on whatever it is, everybody wants to make their decisions, then they'll make their decisions anyway. Yeah. But it didn't have to take the way it took for someone who had done this for 2 years, put the show where it's supposed to be going through what it's going through when people didn't even know Jack what was wrong with me. I remember my mom calling me one day and said that when you're done with this, you're not going back to that job again. You know, she was worried. And so I could understand where she was coming from. And this was a woman who would speak to you, and when she's done, she will go on her knees and let you stay on the phone and pray for you. My mom was a Pentecost deaconess till she retired and died. And I was born in Pentecost, a strong-headed Pentecost. Me and I'm not in Magi. But, you know, I have a very prayerful mother who has twins that will not wait for anything to happen to them. Yeah. I remember a week before I got healed, I remember every single thing my mom did on phone with me. And I'm the person that never joked with when it came to my mom. It's a different ball game altogether. We'll have our difference. I'll argue with her when it comes to issues of whatever it is. But
when
my
it comes
mom,
to that spiritual
my
side,
mom, when it comes to that side, it's a big deal. So today, I know what happened to me. I know who were behind what happened to me.
You're joking.
Oh yes, but do I have to go tell the whole world this and that? No, because there's no spiritual father or somebody who will pray for you and will not tell you what is wrong with you. Yeah. I will not give you names if the person is way in that realm where God reveals. Yeah. And I had series of dreams. See, I am never a believer of juju. Because I was a strong Pentecost boy. I played drums in Pentecost when I was a kid. I was with the women fellowship that when I don't go to their service, they don't play drums. And my mom was a deaconess.
In ten I'm
the only person on No, my siblings will tell you this. But when the things started happening, what I was going through and everything, I come back and I'm like, okay. So this thing, you know, it's the reason why somebody will carry a chair and come and put it in the studio, and when he's going, he will carry the chair back. But some of us, really, where we're coming from, some of these things we didn't believe in it. You know, but I have grown in spiritual life to believe that if there is God and he made A, B, C, D, there are others who could also use the same power that he gave them to do wrong things. It doesn't mean God endorses it. It doesn't mean God encourages it. But that's God's decision for mankind. Yeah. Do what you want to do with your life. At the end of the day, I am going to be responsible for whatever you did. And so whatever you are also doing, know that you will also be responsible for it. Because I created you and gave you that power. Yeah. So I'll be responsible for it and said, yes, I gave you that power. It's true, I gave it to you. But my power right now where I sit is to judge you. That's the difference. You know, so I've been through hell and back. That experience was the worst thing. I don't even want to wish on my enemy. It was that bad. It was terrible. I remember when I came out and I visited my COO at the time, it was like, KMJ, I know you're coming to say you're stopping the job, you're not going anywhere. You have a show on TV, I've put it on. The producers are ready on standby for you. You're not going anywhere. You're staying here with me. Then he had come new. God bless Cancer. He had come new. Because at the time, I knew what I was going to do.
Yeah, you were tired.
I was tired. So I had it in mind that, you know what, I'm going to do something else. I don't think I want to continue with this, you know, especially some of the scary things that I was hearing and all of that. So I said, no, I don't think I belong here because maybe I am too nice. Yeah. You know, somebody doesn't think you have to be too nice. Somebody also feel that so you know how to be nice and all of that. Everybody had their own way of doing things. My way is doing it nicely. So if I don't fit in where all these things are happening, then it's better I just excuse myself. You know, so he said, no, go back to TV. And by the grace of God, we started TV and we're here today. I don't need to say what's going on in my life.
That TV, switch, that opportunity to do TV, how has it affected your life?
It's so beginning I felt it was going to be another big challenge because when you've gone off, you know, what you're doing for a long time, now you're switching to a different thing, not the same radio, but you're doing TV, which you're not used to, even though you have been, you know, in bit and base pieces. It's not like something you've done it for a while. So the challenge is, are you going to survive this or not? Because I remember somebody seeing me at Multimedia and telling me that if you're able to survive another 5 years in this building, I'll be disappointed in myself.
You're joking?
Come on now.
In your face,
yes,
like that?
Yes, because there are people who have gone through what I've gone through and they didn't survive. They couldn't still make the name for themselves. They couldn't still make a brand for themselves. So the person saw me and told me, at the front, the area, the front where
the reception area.
Was like, you know what, you're the strongest guy I've ever seen in my life. But if you're able to go through this period and still make it on TV and still keep this brand the way it is, I'll be disappointed in myself because my thinking about what happened to people, things like these happen to you, happen to them, and that has happened to you, it's not a good picture. So if you're able to come out of where you are right now to still rise and become relevant in this space, this is how I'm going to feel. And it's not in a bad way.
You know that, he's being real.
He's being real with me. AC. So now it was me and just the world. How do I make this happen? And I'm grateful to Eunice Foley, who was then one of the executives, you know, with the television channel. Now she's the head of production and all that. And she was like, you know what? Your first major task right now is, at the time Ebony had also passed on, there was going to be 1 week and all of that, so they needed me to go to Trade Fair where they were doing the 1 week to do a live report of what was happening, package and all of that. We went on location. I started the live feed and everything. When we finished, Janice was like, you know what? This is you. This is where you belong. Put yourself to test. Prove everybody wrong. And I remember those words very well. And I said, okay. So Nanaya Sewa Sapong was the channel manager at the time. She loved me so much. I'm grateful to her, man.
Beautiful at
soul.
heart.
You know,
she's just incredible.
She was like, "This is the space for you." I got there. Some talk also came through.
You met all the incredible people.
How I was accepted. That's why I tell you that my life is a miracle. I don't know how it works, but some talk will call me every morning in his office, sit down with me, let's drink tea.
That's Santok.
You know, and me, from where I was coming from, I didn't deserve all of that. And this man would tell me, so what are you doing today? KMJ, I need you to do something for me. I need it, like, he's always on me. Do this, do that. And I didn't expect all of these. Because multimedia is huge. When you're here, until you're put in that space, you don't even know anybody over there. What is happening over there. So for everybody to rally around and wanting to make me survive this, I was like, how does God does this? Like, I don't get it. But that's my life for you. That's my journey for you. Every single way of my life, I've seen people planted in my life. I had no idea why they got there.
Why they got there. But it was just designed.
Sis.
He does not build us to break us.
It's crazy.
He never built us to break us.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to hit me that will break me the way I've been broken, you know, in my life.
Nothing.
And I have always believed that if God wants to take anything from me right now, it's because he wished to.
Yeah.
And I'll allow it to happen. If he's going to give me anything right now, it's because he's giving me, because he wants to give me. And I would appreciate it. Today, by the grace of God, I've had some very good international movements.
You are traveling every day. You bought $800 shoe.
Oh, okay. So what motivated me was also the fact that I needed to prove a point at the tour events.
That
you know, exactly. I needed something different, something people will talk about.
It's been an incredible time with you. It's always like a vibe around you, and I'm thankful to God for your life. You've been beautifully broken and you have re-emerged. We thank God for your life. Okay, KMJ, so it was nice having you. It's always a vibe, right?
Thanks for inviting me. When the call came, I was like, oh, sis, who am I? Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
It's always a pleasure.
But it's good to be here.
It's time for your high sense moment. Kindly take a card and hand it over so we see what you're taking home.
Oh, much a channel more answer.
Yeah,
right here, and my makwa.
Yeah, Chaniama.
Guess no more than Mr. Wayne.
And you'll be a Mr. You'll be a coffee.
Patro me coffee.
Patro, you can't back, mommy. It's right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming. You take home a toaster.
Hey!
It's me, Patro. High sense.
Oh, this is nice. Thank you.
And this is actually a new brand. Just for kitchen appliances. Into Mr. We would kusiwa family bohun. Obi aba no se me na me dem.
Patro amati. Ometi enka. Guys. Sorry.
Kawo beswa. Because say no ensan Lexter Ghana Limited, producers of Yas products. Almost say me ma hamper. Na hamper no pad wom. Toothbrushes wom. Toothpaste wom, kitchen towels wom. Na pad no. Why na dey man?
My daughter, I have a 12-year-old daughter.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so
beautiful.
Oh no, obey you too.
Obey you too. Patch of na man. Minim dodro e wom nyina. Nti be friend e bisa say.
She's very intelligent.
How many did daddy give you? She say ebi mesian me who say bi afa baby.
This is for you, yeah?
Thank you very much for coming. A very big thank you to our sponsors, Hisense, everyday prizes for everyday people. Yas washing powder and Yas sanitary pad, Hoochcon and Choco Flakes La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Aseda Fabric to Wazi Apartments located at Mile 7. Thank you very much to ABS Lux Line for my outfit, GH Beauty Artistry. Adam, thank you so much, and your team, you always make every episode amazing. To the Souza Catering Services, Soraya, thank you very much. Kofi Africa Photography, you are incredible. Thank you so much. And I also want to say a very big thank you to M-Clan Media Production for always ensuring that our productions are top-notch. And of course, Hair Duties located in Osu near the Photo Club. Haja, thank you very much for my hair today. So KMJ, before I let go of you, I just have something to share with you. Wow. On Restoration, we love to capture moments, right? I have a moment that I'm sharing with you. I love it. Oh, look at it. So this is from Kofi Africa Photography to you.
Okay.
Just check the moment.
Oh, see.
You see how you had your hand in your hair? Can you share that moment?
My goodness.
Can you share that moment?
What I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you had your hand in your hair like.
So I do it a lot.
Okay.
And there's a reason I do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So for you capturing this, I mean, there are people who have said that when I'm on TV, I even do that occasionally.
Okay.
And there's a reason why.
And we capture the moments.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It's got something to do with my late parents, and so yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad that you captured this.
Yeah.
This is
so thank you
beautiful.
very much for coming, and we hope to host you again
Yeah.
very soon. So it's been a wonderful moment, and we're saying thank you very much for joining us this week. Next week, we welcome your way with another inspirational story. Always do remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. We'll see you next week.